When you've dealt with women who are accustomed to money, one thing, if they're interacting with you and they come from that, they can tell where you're at already. So if they interact with you, they're not basing it on the fact that this man is ultimately going to elevate me because I'm not a woman who needs to be elevated.
It goes well beyond these physical characteristic wish lists, because if you give anyone a wish list and say, tell me what you want for Christmas, clearly they're going to choose all of the top things. They're not going to say, well, let me go for mediocrity.
Knowing that my daughter might be 6 feet tall, if I go in her house and that is shorter than me, I might look at him like, hey man.
If a woman could lead you, if a woman could run your household, that says more about you than it does about her. Also, you should probably just leave her if you don't want that. Like, some men don't mind women leading.
I think you guys like totally glossed over what Trev said, because he said some very prominent things, and collectively you guys said some things that were dope, right? But he spoke to the specifics of the woman. And what I find interesting is that a lot of women who think they got money because their job pays them a lot of money, but they don't have money. They just got a high salary, and then and there's levels to this. Trev, I'm sure, maybe even Willie, I'm sure. See, when you've dealt with women who are accustomed to money, one thing, if they're interacting with you and they come from that, they can tell where you're at already. So if they interact with you, they're not basing it on the fact that this man is ultimately going to elevate me because I'm not a woman who needs to be elevated. Money is not an issue. So I'm interested in having a human connection. I'm interested in maybe getting to know what he has to offer. And that's not based on a bank account or reach of credit. And this is how I can tell that a lot of women either broke or assume that they actually are paid because they have a job, which is cute. So you fly first class, great. You may have a nice FICO, all right. But when you really are immersed in money and you really have done that, you typically deal with people a lot different. This is how I can tell that a lot of times we shouldn't listen to these heifers, because they can only conceptualize, oh, why would I deal with a dude if I'm on this level? What level? No one knows you. If you walked into the office tomorrow and they say you gone, because that's where most women are anyway. If they're earning in the capacity where they got to punch somebody's clock. What are you really going to do? And so I think that's where it gets dangerous for me, in a sense, laughable. It's not 6'6". Bo said it in the back chat. If you are a solid dude, women who have money are able to see you from your human level, whatever that may be. And it's not just based on you being an animal in a sack. It's definitely not you sitting on the edge of the bed, chaotic, swinging your leg. I think it's hilarious, but I don't think that's factual. And I think people need to travel a lot more too. Give you a lot more perspectives than just this little low level, low vibrational, sometimes limited perspective we have in the inner cities and in the Americas and in our community, to assume that you got to be 6'7" and hauling UPS packages for some girl who money to give you a chance. That's loud.
True. Did you ever watch Howard Stern growing up?
Yeah, I have.
Do you think, I forget the guy's name, the actor dude. You ever seen his wife?
I can't recall seeing his wife, no.
You should look her up. She's super hot. You think she'd date Beetlejuice?
Do I think she would date Beetlejuice?
The black dude from the show.
The black dude off of Howard Stern. The little 3 foot tall black dude off of Howard Stern. Because she's so privileged and she doesn't care about the money and the aesthetics. Do you think she'd date Beetlejuice? Sir?
See, that's a nigga.
No, we're all human beings, right? We're all human.
This is ridiculous, because that's just like Biggie, Rick Ross. There's a lot of very unattractive men. So here's the thing.
Biggie was 6'2", by the way. So
and a millionaire.
It doesn't. And guess what? Rick Ross isn't. Rick Ross is a little bit taller than me. He's not that tall. But this is what I'm saying, that we need to take value from what both the gentleman and the lady said. That it goes well beyond these physical characteristic wish lists. Because if you give anyone a wish list and say, tell me what you want for Christmas, clearly they're going to choose all of the top things. They're not going to say, well, let me go for mediocrity. It's the same as with the man. If you ask him, here's your wish list, what do you want from a woman? He's not going to say, well, I want the one that's overweight, or he's going to want a woman that's fit. So comparing the wish list to what women actually do date and marry. That dad bods are actually okay. There's actually a survey that's going around right now where men were surprised at how many women would date a man with a dad bod. So I don't want to get so caught up in these cliches that are trending to think that in real life that this, it is the thing. If you have confidence, similar to what the host said, you come in with confidence, you have other things to offer, you don't care. And then I'll wrap this up in this. Most of the women that are in my social circle, I'll just use my sister's the anesthesiologist. So she's a widow. She's been a widow for about 5 years. She ended up dating a teacher. In this, they never talked about their career when they first met. They met at a social event. About 6 weeks later, when she was in the emergency room and he heard them call her Dr. Blah, 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 she said the conversation went blank. He started to feel small. And I'm like, what is that? What do you mean by that? She was like, he started to act small. He was very open before. By no means, no shape, no form. This is the woman that they're talking about, the submission, all of this. It's like, oh, by the Bible, the man is this. She's the most humble thing, so much so that she doesn't even feel comfortable to talk about her accomplishments. At the point when they heard them call her doctor, the conversation diminished. So I will say that it can be a thing if a person is average and they're dating a person that is above average or have higher standards and they're not confident in who they are.
I think that I think that inadequate men are threatened by a successful woman. But in general, I don't think that men are threatened by successful women. What I think is that men don't like successful women for several reasons. Um, some successful women are full of themselves and treat men like shit. Um, but some men don't like successful women because if anything happens, they can get the fuck on and be straight. Like, I'm not bound to you because I don't need nothing from you. And a lot of men don't like that. But I just don't think that wholly men are threatened by successful women. I think that a lot of men want successful women. They just don't want the bad attitude that comes with some of them. And I know that sounds real strange coming from my mouth, but it's true. Like, I know a lot of them, but I also know a lot of successful women that can't get men because the men do not want women that have more than them or equal to them, because they want to feel like the man. I got to make the most money in the relationship. And I think a leader is a leader is a leader, honestly. Like, if you get in a relationship and you feel like you're not a leader, that means you're not a leader. That don't mean nothing about that woman. That means something about you. You got to check your own weakness. So if you can't be a leader with a woman that makes more than you, that's on you. That's not on her. So, but yeah, I don't generally. I used to think that men were intimidated by like me being successful in my industry. Not like in general, because success is relative. But I used to think that, but that's not really what that is. It's those men were inadequate. I don't think that it was my success that had anything to do with it.
Bo, every man on this panel, man, you ain't about to lead Oprah Winfrey in her home. I don't give a goddamn how big and tall you are. You ain't leading her. It ain't happening. Now, that's an extreme example. But the reality is, if a woman is making more than you, more than likely you ain't leading nothing. Confidence or no confidence. I'm a man, and I'm telling you, sweetheart, I was in these positions a few times in my life. My feet were dangling from the stool in the kitchen in somebody else's nicer home than mine. And I said, I wonder what she thinks about me. No, no, Bo, no. I'm a man, and I'm telling you, a lot of guys won't admit this. See, I'm short. I gotta work 10 times as hard. Man, no, you ain't leading nothing.
But you still fucked. So what did like?
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, I mean, yeah, come on now, but yeah, but Bo, I get it. You guys are romanticizing it for men. It ain't like that, Bo. Trust me, It ain't like that.
So, question: when you say you're short, right? How short is? What are you talking about? Like you five?
Put it this way: I'm taller than Muggsy Bogues.
So you 5'3"?
No, well, Bogues is 5'3", so I'm taller than Bogues.
Oh, okay.
Between 5'3" and 5'10". Put it that way.
That's fair. Well, yeah, okay, yeah. But
put it this way: I don't look. Put it this way: I'm not that short where people think I'm short. People, yeah, put it that way.
So, well, now if I walked into my daughter's house and she had a nigga that was in the kitchen and sitting on the stool swinging his legs, yeah, I probably would make fun of him.
I told you.
Can't even argue with you there.
Like I told you.
I had to be honest. I had to think about it for a second, but yeah, because my daughter would be tall too, so yeah.
But then this is not just a woman.
And you ain't making that much. And you ain't making more than. And if he ain't making more than a daughter,
we never said that it was a woman thing. There's no point. There's no need to make that point. That's just women want to do that. Well, men do it too. Shit, try to gain ground. Like if nothing else, I'm fair on both sides. We don't have topics where I have to be fair towards men because that people don't want to watch that. But knowing that my daughter might be 6 feet tall, if I go in her house and that nigga is shorter than me, I might look at him like, hey man,
and not making more than her. Shit, man.
Well,
you ain't got no respect for that dude.
Well, I didn't say that. I wasn't even gonna talk about the money part.
Okay,
that's the double negative now. But just giving them
okay.
I go to her house and the nigga's in the kitchen and she's baking cookies and he's swinging his leg off the chair. Like if something happens, it goes bump in the night. Like I would be concerned. Like we got to go to the gun range or something, or like go to the gym and spar. Like I need a two or 3 minute round with you just so I can see where you at.
Yeah.
Because if my daughter got to be the one, like my daughter can't. I don't want her dating a nigga that she can beat up, or wrestle or manhandle. That would be weird.
Yeah. Go ahead, Bo.
Yeah. I think that he just proved my point. If a woman could lead you, if a woman could run your household, that says more about you than it does about her. Also, you should probably just leave her if you don't want that. Like some men don't mind women leading. That's cool. But they don't be complaining about I'm not a leader in my household. So like I think that you just shouldn't be with a woman like that because like I said, some women, they do not handle their success well. They do not handle men well in their success. So I completely agree with it. Like I've seen it. I've seen a woman make more than a man, be the breadwinner, and that man literally have a part-time job as a server. He took care of their child. He did all of the things, and he ran that household. You know why? Because he was a leader, and she allowed him to lead. That's how that worked. So if she's not allowing you to lead and you are not a leader in your household, again, that says more about you than it does about her. Because one, either you're not a leader or you're choosing to be there with her. And then you just shut up and let her lead. So either leave or lead. Those are the two options. Like, but I don't think, I mean, like, I'm not saying like this is a bad thing or anything like that. You choose the life you want to live. I'm just saying, I've seen both dynamics. So go get you a woman that'll let you lead or makes less than you. I don't know.